Hi there crafters, it's Louise with you today. Welcome along to this video for Kitaholic Kits. It is featuring the December 2023 kit, which is the gorgeous paper rose rainbow collection. It is just amazing and I'm loving these papers. So I started the month with a couple of 12 by 12 shares, and I'm now going to break it down to a couple of 9 by 12 shares. So for anyone who hasn't watched any of my videos before, I like to do 9 by 12 scrapbooking because I can store the layouts into just an ordinary old display folder that I pick up from my local stationery store, Officeworks, places like that. And it means that I can get more layouts into an album and more albums on a shelf. So I do a bit of a mixture of the sort of 12 by 12 and 9 by 12 scrapbooking just so I've got space. I also find that if I'm only going to scrap one photo at a time, which is sort of my preference, I like the 9 by 12 because it doesn't feel like quite as much wasted space. So bringing it back to this current 9 by 12 layout, you can see that I have fussy cut the bottom part, and I purely did this because I wanted to tuck something behind there. So it wasn't necessary to fussy cut it. You could simply pop your photo over the top, but I really wanted to tuck mine in behind. So that's why I've gone with fussy cutting that bottom element. Now the photo that I've chosen, and you would have seen in the video that I've actually printed quite a few 4x6 photos on an A4 size. I print all my own photos at home so that I can control the size, the quality as to whether I want it in black and white. If I want it in 4x6, I can choose the size. If I want it smaller, I can also print at the time that I need a particular photo. So, if I'm working with a collection and I need a specific photo or group of photos, I can print those myself at home. So that's why I choose to do my own printing at home. And I just use an ordinary old Brother printer, and I've found that economically the cost of ink and materials works out about the same as when you get someone else to do your printing for you. And I certainly like to be in control of my printing as I need to. I don't have to go anywhere. I can do it in the comfort of my own home. Okay, back to the layout. I got a little bit distracted there for a second, sorry. So you can see that I have mounted my photo onto a background paper, and at the moment I'm very into using my distress tool. I really like to add some textural edges to the papers that I'm using. So I have distressed the edges a little bit, and I've also drawn just a little inner border on the background 9 by 12 white cardstock that I'm using. And I'm doing this because I want to include some kind of border using the sequins. I had thought in my mind that maybe I would stitch them on. I saw a layout where somebody stitched a bunch of sequins, but that just was not going to work for me. So off camera, I've done the first set of sequins, and then I left this last little bit to show you how I'm doing it. So what you want to do is create a very messy background of paste. And the reason we want it messy is because the sequins need something to stick to. So you don't want a straight line. You want to be able to overlap these sequins. And all I'm doing is just sprinkling them around. And then as they sort of get out of position, I just push them into that tacky glue that I've already applied into the background, fill in any gaps and pop them away once I'm finished. So I actually really love this border. I love the way those sort of messy sequins add that pop of color around the outside. I think it's just a fantastic addition to the layout, and it really helps bring in particularly those colors, those purple florals in those flowers. The picture that I've chosen is of my cat. Her name is Miss Squirrel, and that was the name she came with when we adopted her. So we kept that, and she just thinks she's the queen of the entire house. So I've titled this layout Queen, and she likes to sit on my shelves in my scrapbook room while I'm going about my business. And I snapped this little photo and I thought it was super cute, so that's why I'm scrapping it today. I needed something above the photo just to sort of connect that floral in the top right hand corner, so I'm simply going to pull out some frames from some previous kits. I do love a good frame on a layout. It's one of my favorite elements to add. So I'm going to add those frames at the top, and then the final stages, I'm just going to add a little bit of this gold sparkly glitter. If you've got stickles at home, it will do the same thing. You can add, Nuvo drops, things like that, just to add a little bit of texture and interest. I leave it to dry overnight. Make sure everything's stuck down. You can see that gorgeous bit of sparkly glitter there around those florals, helping them to pop. But that is my 9x12 layout share for today, sequins on the border and entitled Queen. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.